Okay, so this data set has a data supply chain. So it's a supply chain data set, and we have the type of transaction. We have debit, transfer, cash, payment, and the likes. We have the number of days it takes to ship, number of days for shipping, and then days for shipping scheduled. So usually when they say schedule, it means it's the number of days they schedule is sometimes different from the actual days that it takes. Oftentimes it's smaller, other times it might be more. Like this one, I scheduled 1 day and it took 2 days. This one is scheduled 2 days and it took 6 days. So you can see that there's a disparity in that. We have benefit per order, which is the profit. And then we have sales per customer, which is the sales for each of the customer. We have the delivery status. So you can see the products that had on-time delivery. So which means the number of shipment days were lesser. They were delivered advanced. Please, can you mute yourself? We are saying like days for shipping is like this one 4, and then the real day it took to ship is 3. So which means that this was shipped advanced. So late delivery in this turn will now be 0 because there was no late delivery. Then the category ID is 73. We're going to see what that category ID means in a bit. Then the category is sports goods. So you can see that sports goods is having a category ID of 73. So each of these products now is a sport item. And then you have other ones like cleats, shop by sport, women's apparel. You can see each of these things have different category ID. So we also have what's this? The city of the customer. You can see Los Angeles. You can see all of that. We have the country. We have Puerto Rico. We have EU. We have quite a number of that. We have the customer email, which is hidden because of privacy issues. We have the customer's first name. We have the customer's identity number. We have the customer's last name. Usually columns like this, we don't really use them, the first name and last name. If we have quite a number of columns, we might not really use it unless we are looking for maybe the person that's bought like the highest, quantity, or someone that spent like the maximum cap that we've ever received, that we might be interested in that person for that reason. But for analysis purpose, usually you won't see first name and last name being used. We also have customer segment, the customer home office, and the likes. Then the customer state. This is just a short of what we have in country, the street of the person, the customer zip code, the department name, the longitude and latitude, that's the region, the market, the order city, the country region, the customer ID, the order customer ID, which means this is their order ID, which should be different from the customer ID. Customer ID here is 20755. Okay, it's the same thing. So the order date, is date of the orders, the order date, and then the order ID, okay, which is different from the customer ID, as you can see. Then the order item card code ID, that's the production ID is 1360. So this is for the purpose of tracing it back to the manufacturer. We have the order ID discounts. These are for products that were discounted. And we have order ID discount rates. So this is just the rate of this. There's the relationship between that. To the order ID item, we have the order ID product price. So this is the price of the products that was purchased. To the profits that was made from each of the customers, you would see that it's being listed out. So you see that there's a disparity there. There's a difference in this profit. So which means that even though this order costs this, some persons were given discounts, so they had to pay like different amounts. So the profits that is being made is different. The number of quantity they all bought, like from the ones you can see it's just one quantity. Then we see the order item total. So how many did they buy? One quantity times the product price minus the discounts that was applied is what will give us this column right here, the order item total. Now we have the order profit per order. So how much of profit was made on each of this? All right, I'm seeing something on profit. Okay, this is profit ratio. This is the profit itself. So we are saying the order region, where the order was placed from, the order state, where the state in which it was placed, was the status completed. You know, sometimes you want to order a product and then you don't complete that process. So was this completed? So to be able to know the amount you have generated, this completed is very important because if the transaction is not completed, that means that we've not made that money. It's just in the customer's cart. So we also have we have the order zip code, we have the card ID, we have the product category ID, the product description, the shipment date. You know, the order date is different from the shipment date, and then the shipment mode. Now, a company gives you this kind of data set. They expect you to do two things: create a business question from this, and then solve it using data analytics tool. Now, I'm just going to write question here. Just going to say Q question, right? Now, the question, what do you think the goal of this data is? Let me ask you, if you were given this data set, what do you think they want you to do there? Looking at all of this information that we've seen here, what do you think this company, let's call this XYZ company, XYZ. What do you think this XYZ company wants to achieve with this?
From this thing is more of like a logistic company. Let me just assume it to be like Amazon. So
Exactly.
I think they will probably.
How do you know Amazon is not logistic?
What is it then?
It's an
Does it
e-commerce.
operate on logistics?
It's an e-commerce.
Okay. Yeah, because okay. This is more of like an e-commerce as well, because it's more of like, although they didn't really state it whether it was done online or physical delivery, but for the scheduled date and the other date. So if I'm to ask from my own experience, I will feel they probably want to know, check like the delivery, like the time of delivery, like the difference in profit, like discount rate, and I think probably compare like the discount rate. Probably you want to compare it with the regions as to where each and every of this thing was being delivered. Then, like, because if you look at the data, some were late deliveries, and some of the profitability was affected. I'm seeing like a negative figure in some of the profitability ratio. So probably if that was actually affected due to late deliveries. So if I'm to give like a business report from this analysis, I'm supposed to be checking the delivery date, how um, quick it is, look for like the late deliveries and check for my profitability index. Then finally like get a reason why probably we made loss from profit, just by giving discount, because discount probably might reduce profit, but it shouldn't lead to a loss. And for me, seeing a negative figure from accounting background, that is actually a loss. Anything that has a negative value on profit is a loss. So that's like my own take on it.
Okay. If you want to say something?
Yeah, I feel the table is actually showing more of the profits and the loss because I'm seeing more loss on the profit side, and it's actually showing delivery package and the late delivery and the early delivery. So in a nutshell, the profits, the only thing I'm saying that we are going to analyze is just the profits, the loss, and the delivery status.
Okay. You've seen the profit and you've seen the loss. Now, if a company gives you this data set now, they just give you this data set, they don't give you any question. What do you think the company wants you to do with the data?
Check for profit. If I'm to look at it, then I'll look at the time it takes for shipping and for it to be delivered, like the look at late delivery, and to check if how viable the company is. That is like their profit margin. That's
Okay.
how I fit the data
Okay,
of the
hold on,
question.
hold on. Now we are going to solve all these questions that you have mentioned. So we need to tackle it one by one. You have identified profit. We want to know if the company is running at a profit or loss, right?
Yeah.
That's the first thing you want to know. The second thing you also want to do is that you want to know the products that were delivered late. That's late delivery. And you want to see the regions where you had late deliveries, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So what else do you think there is to know about this data set?
I also think they need to, okay, working on the logistics, like those regions where the deliveries are late. So the company wants to know how they can work on their logistics, how it can get there on time. So
Okay.
And
Region,
also the discount rate. Why are there like different values for the discount rate?
okay.
Maybe like there's a relationship as to why the difference in discount rates if it's tied to late deliveries, and if it also still have like an impact on the profitability. Why probably they made either a loss um, or a profit.
Okay. And if it wants to know the region or
yes,
late,
I'm seeing more of loss on the sales than maybe just a few ones. Yeah, the loss are kind of too much. So they are still going to work on their loss because when there are much loss that go, can affect the company. So where the loss is coming from, maybe from the logistics or some other places. So I feel they want to know about it too.
Okay. What else do you think is wrong with this data set? What about this other status?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, maybe to check how many were being completed. Think from here is complete, pending, closed, pending payment, and cancelled. So it probably to check the one that is the orders that were completed, the ones that are pending, the ones that were closed, the ones that were like pending payment, and the ones that were cancelled. Those 5 data set also.
So we also want to check.
And I feel they also want to know where they get more orders from, what region they get more orders from.
Hmm?
I think they also want to know what region they get orders from.
Region or we could say profitability or order. Let's say order. Okay. What else? Now we've identified 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now
You made
first,
mention of if you want to check for the highest maybe customer that did and the highest order, I don't know if that one will be necessary here.
let's leave that for now.
Okay.
Now, you've identified in the data set that there's a profit. We want to know if there's a profit or loss. We want to know the orders that were delayed, how many products were actually like delivered late, and did we make profit or loss by this discount rate that we are giving? Then which regions did we have late deliveries? Then how many of our customers are even completing their transaction? Then what region do we have the highest traction from? So how do you determine the profit and loss? How do you determine the profit and loss?
Maybe you look at the items that were sold and the ones that was returned. Since they don't make, I didn't say anything like purchase, so I will assume they have everything
No,
at
this
their
is how
disposal.
it's sold on or purchased. This is complete. Every item we see that is complete was actually like paid for. Pending, closed. They did not pay for those transactions. Processing. Processing could mean that they've been paid for,
Yeah, but it has not been delivered.
but they've not been shipped. Right? So how do we know how they've made profits, whether they've made profits or loss?
This thing now is if we want to check for like get like a gross profit, we will have to add products that were completed and the ones that were processed that are still on that are processing, then subtract it from orders that were either pending or cancelled. or closed.
Okay.
Doesn't like to get like a
Now
gross
let's write
profit.
that down. Let's write it down. So we want to aggregate, right? We want to aggregate completed and what? And processed.
Processing. Yeah.
Processed product, right? That's how we know versus the ones that were not, right?
Yes. Exactly.
The ones that were closed,
Cancelled or pending.
pending.
I think they are pending and they are pending payment also.
Yeah, we have pending payment. And
Cancelled.
now that's how we know if we have made profit, right?
Yeah.
How do we know the ones that were delivered late?
I think they stated it in that listing that there's 1, 2 items. Maybe I probably will have to create like an Excel table to. I don't know, sure, whether it's to create an Excel table then like a light late deliveries probably. I don't know
Okay.
because some of them are 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Maybe we can highlight and see the ones that are above 0. Then the ones that are above 0 automatically means it was delivered. It was delivered late.
Now the
Then
ones
we look
that
at
are
the
above
numbers
0
update.
means that they were delivered early.
Yeah.
The ones that were 1 means that they were delivered late. So this 0 means on time delivery. This 1 means late delivery. Do you know why?
Either the person was not available or the item was also not available.
No. From these data sets, we are thinking outside of the data set. I need you to focus on this data. We cannot be working with the information we do not have. We need to work with the information that we have.
Okay. It was scheduled to be delivered in 4 days, but it was delivered in 5 days. That means 1 day ahead of the scheduled date. So since
So
you
which
say we
means
should work,
that,
that's what.
see,
Huh?
is Efe here?
I'm here. I'm with you.
I'm not saying anything. What do you think this late delivery risk mean in relation to this one?
So I think.
I
Hello?
can't hear what you're saying.
You said what?
What do you think this late delivery risk mean in relation to this Colombians?
I don't think I understand what you're saying. What do I think late delivery is in relation to?
What do you think this column mean in relation to these two?
Okay, the B is actually talking about days of the shipping and it's days of the shipping schedule. Okay, the first one is the day they are supposed to deliver or to ship the goods. Why the second one is talking about the day they eventually deliver the goods. Right?
Yes, but that's not what I asked you. What you are telling me is what is on the screen. I need you to tell me what is not on the screen. If you look at these 2 columns and this 1 column, what can you see? I'm just going to hide this one so that it can be beside each other. What are you seeing here? What does this 3 column? What do you see there that is not boldly written?
My only observe is the only thing I observe is that the first one was shipped in 3 days. Okay, it was supposed to be shipped in 3 days, and eventually it took 4 days. Like a day extra. And the late delivery 5 days. The second one 5 days, 4 days. So
The first one is what?
the first one is supposed to be shipped in 3 days, but eventually it took 4 days.
What you are telling me is visible. Everybody can see it. I need you to tell me what is not visible in this data. I need you to look at the pattern of everything that is in column B, C, and G, and tell me what is there, but is not written there.
Does it
Anybody?
apply to me as well?
Sorry?
The question, does it apply to me as well?
Yes, please.
From to say, I think what is not there that should be there is like, what is the, how will I put it, like compensation that the customer gets for receiving his item late. Because I know if you order, for example, from Temu, you get a £5 voucher if they deliver it late. As like a compensation for like kind of like, I would say, like the apology for actually distorting your plan. So it's like a £5 purchase. So in this case, I know they have like different discount rates, but there was nowhere it was stated that for every delivery, the days that they extend, a particular discount rate is supposed to apply, or uh, like a compensation. So if I'm to put that, I see they didn't really, what was supposed to be here that was not here should be like the compensation you are supposed to get for receiving your items later than the scheduled date.
We are right, but that doesn't answer the question. Now, how can you say that 4 and 6 here is 0?
I think there's that should be an error.
That should be an error.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 2.
It should be 2, right?
Yes.
Also, you are saying 2 and 6 is 0. So
That
what
should
do
be
you
4 as well. I think
exactly?
you have to correct it.
Okay, but then that's not what is. That's not the answer.
Oh, we are light.
No. Think deeper. Now, this is what is. Sometimes we need to read this title very well, closely enough, so that we'll be able to see what is not said in the data. Now, they said that this is days of shipment scheduled. So which means some products were scheduled to take 4 days, but then it took 3 days. But was there a risk attached to that product? 0, which means no. There was no risk to a late delivery for this product. So it could be that the person just used a standard delivery. Now, if you come here, and I don't know if it's a standard delivery anyway, but let's come to this side. You can see this is a standard delivery. Now, which means for a standard delivery, if you go on Temu, it will take more than the usual number of days it is supposed to. Now, for this one, this product is scheduled to go in 4 days. It took 5 days. This is 1, which means that there's a risk attached to these products not getting to that destination. So when you see 0, late delivery risk, 0 here means no. 1 here means yes. So the 0 and 1 that you have used here is not really the subtraction of anything here. It's the status of these two.
Oh,
When we get to machine learning, when we start doing machine learning algorithms, you will know we have, or you will get to know what we call the, oh, are we going to do machine learning algorithm? I'm not so sure. Because machine learning is not part of analytics again, it's part of the science. So you get to know we have ordinal and nominal data. So ordinal and normal data, you have categorical data sets that you want to apply machine learning algorithms on. But you cannot apply machine learning algorithms on them because they are texts like this. So what you will do in that kind of case is that you will turn it into numbers like this. So there's some categorical data. Now look at these debits. Now you see that you have a lot of debits. Yeah, this column now, I can see that this column has categorical data, which means that some transactions are categorized as debits, some are categorized as transfer, some are categorized as cash, some are categorized as payment. So I can say that my debit is 0. That's what categorical means. When you want to change it to number, you can say debit is 0, transfer is 1, cash is 2, payment is 3, like that. Just replacing categorical or numeric value, sorry, text value with numeric value. That's what, encoding means. So that's what they've done here. So instead of saying true or false, they have used 0 and 1. So it's not a matter of the number of days difference, maybe 4 minus 3, 2 minus 6. No, is there a risk attached to this product that was bought? If there's no risk, it's 0. If there's a risk, it's 1. So this 0 in real context means no. This 1 in real context means true. Do you understand? So that's how it works. So all these zeros and ones that you're seeing has nothing to do with the difference between these two columns. So this is what I was expecting us to say, that the value here is not in relation with this, because even if you say 4 minus 3 is not 0. So, but then when you say late delivery risk, is saying that even though this value was delivered ahead of time, there's no risk attached to it. So even if it was delivered late, maybe there would have been a risk, but there's no risk attached. Now, look at this one. Now, this is 4 and 5. There's a risk. This is 4 and 4, no risk. 4 and 3, no risk. This one is 4 and 2, no risk. This is 4 and 6. Even though this product was delivered late, there was no risk attached to it. Wow. Even though this, let me look for the one that was delivered early. Okay, all of these were delivered late. This was delivered late. This was delivered late. All of these were delivered late. Now, even though this one, okay, this was also delivered late. All of this. All of these were delivered late. So usually when you try to check if a value has risk attached to it, you might want to see if that value, if that a product has risk attached, you might want to see if that product was lately delivered or had an early delivery. So because I'm just doing analytics, I'm not doing machine learning here. I'm just going to change this 0 to true. Sorry, this 0 to false and this 1 to true. So that when I start visualizing, I'll not be visualizing 0 and 1. I'll be visualizing true or false. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I'm just going to say late delivery status. And I'm going to use my condition statements to work on this. So I'm going to say equal to if this value here, if it is equal to 0, comma, what do I want it to do? I want it to return false.
False, yeah.
Else, if it is not 0, then it is 1, right?
Yeah.
So that it should be true. Now, I now want to check the difference between this and this. I want to know if this number here is greater than the number here, then that means it's a late delivery, right?
Yeah.
So this means if 4 is greater than 3, then it is late. But this, because 4 is less than 3, then it's an early delivery, right? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. If it's if it has to be greater than 4, then it's late.
Yeah. So I'm going to be checking for each one, but I'm not going to be doing it manually. I'm going to be doing it automatically. So if I say, I want to do it just right beside this. I'm going to unhide this radio here. Then hide it again. I'm going to say late or on time. I'm going to say late versus on time. Okay. So I'm going to say if this value is greater than this value, then it is what? Late, right?
It's on time.
No, if this value is greater than this value, is late, right? If
Is it
C
supposed to be
is greater
late
than
or
D, if the number of scheduled is greater than the number of real, then it is late.
is schedule not supposed to be the day that is not supposed to pass, give or take, it's not supposed to pass 4 days, and you deliver 3 days. It means you are on time. Shouldn't it be less than the
That's what I'm
days
saying.
of shipping?
It is less.
Okay, I thought you said it if it's greater, if schedule is greater than shipping, then it's late.
If schedule is, if schedule is smaller than real, that means it's late, right?
Yeah, that's lesser. Yeah.
Equal to, if this value, we want to check if condition statement again. If this, right, is lesser, right?
Yeah.
Lesser than this, right? Then it is what?
Late.
It is late. Else it is what? On time, right?
On time. Yeah.
Is Efe here?
I think she has left too.
Interesting. So it's on time. So I'm going to say on time. So now we will now see if we have late or on time. So you can see now that this on time false, right? All this on time, you can see they are what?
False.
But this is late, but then there was no risk associated with it. Can you see?
So it was false. Yeah.
Now, this one now, these are late, but then there were what? Risks associated with them. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So you can see now that this one too, late. So you see that most times when a product is late, we can see from this little picture that we've been able to paint here, we can see that most times when a product has a late delivery, it has a risk. It has a late delivery risk. It's not all times, but at least most times. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So we now want to find out now, where are we now? So that's for
Right.
late
Late
delivery.
delivery.
So we want to see, we've already seen those late delivery now. We now want to see how many times do we have late deliveries, how many times do we have on-time deliveries, right?
Yeah.
So we are going to plot our, what's the name of this column again? Late on time with what?
Late on time. Late delivery. The other one is the question part. So which of the
This one.
yeah. Yeah, that is late on time. Late or on time.
How are we going?
Hello?
How are we going to get the late deliveries?
I think we have to to put it in an Excel table.
Yeah, it's actually in an Excel table. I hope you know. We want to say pivot table.
Yeah, you can create a table, then you can create a pivot table.
Yes, you said in an Excel table. You
Yeah,
mean as
in it,
in
put
an
it
Excel
in
table
a
now?
table. Yes, like in a normal table format, so that we can highlight or select.
Okay, let me do that now. So we can now filter and say late, right? Is this what you're saying?
Yes.
Yes.
But we cannot start counting 1, 2, 3. I hope you know. So what we want to
Yeah,
do is
sure.
to actually create an aggregate of this using our pivot table, right? So we want to create a summary of late on time with a number of products, late versus on time versus what the quantity, right?
Yeah.
So that
I
this
was
will
on late
solve,
delivery.
yeah, this one will solve this problem, right?
Yeah.
Now the third problem is what? The discount rate versus profitability. How do we know if the discount rate is either giving us profits or a loss?
The discount, I mean, the loss is giving a negative sign.
Yes, the loss is giving us a negative value, I know. So what's the relationship between the how do you think you would solve it? The discount and the price. Where is the price again? And this price.
Yeah.
How do you intend to solve it?
Now you said we should subtract discount times, I think whether there's one thing that's like quantity minus the other item discount.
Let me see. I think everything is one, but let me just confirm.
Yeah, that other item
It's
quantity.
not just one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So how are we going to do that?
And okay. Okay, that was actually to get our other item total. Yeah, that was when you say we should multiply sales times the quantity, other quantity minus the discount.
Exactly. So what do you understand by this? You have profit ratio of positive, you have profit ratio of minus. What does that mean to you?
ratio, positive ratio, and no one is this thing. Like, how did he arrive at the ratio, or how do we arrive at the ratio?
Oh, is that what okay, I wanted to take this from another one. Okay, this one, this is it, don't worry, leave the ratio. Okay, yeah, I think that solved it. So you said we should multiply the quantity by the sales, right? Then we subtract the
We subtract the discount rate, like the item discount, not the rate actually,
other item
the discount
actually, not the
yeah, to get our other item total.
so we can get the total, right? So how
Yes.
do we now know if we have made profit or loss?
I know you're maybe compare, but I'm trying to see what you're supposed to compare with. Whatever we're supposed to compare with maybe compare with the price. I don't know.
Compare with the price.
Just trying to look at how we got. So how do we get the discount rate again? Abi, what's the question again?
The profit, we want the discount rate versus the profitability. Because we have applied a discount, have we made profit or not? That's what we are trying to get.
Yeah, the profit now, is it the other profit per order?
The
Is it
profit,
what we want to get, or I saw that profit per order, and I don't know if there's any other thing, other profit
now,
rate or something.
what this 2 column mean is that this one is telling you that after I have multiplied this one and this one together, and I have subtracted the discount, this is what is remaining. Do you understand? Now, let me quickly close this up a bit. I don't know if Fefe is with us or the network has dropped her out. But if I just, because we are not saying anything. Now, if I come here now and I create a new column, I want to test if, okay, I should even create it here. I want to check if I'm going to get the same result. I'm going to say equal to this value multiplied by this value, right?
Okay.
Then subtract this one, right? Do I get the same value? You can say I get the same value, so we don't need to calculate it because we already calculated it for us. Can you see?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to get rid of it. So now, order profits per order. Was there a discount attached? Yes, right? Did we make a profit? We made a profit of 91 pounds, 25 cents. 25 pence. Right? Now, looking at this one, this second one, you're seeing that 16 pounds was given off out of 325. So we made a total order of 311 pounds, right? That's the order. So if this is the sales, what is the product price? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's the same price.
The sales price and the product price. Now, we cannot always assume that the values are the same thing unless we compare, right?
Yeah.
So we want to compare now. Is this greater? But then from this that we are seeing, you will see that it looks alike, like it's the same thing, right? But we will not know for other ones. If my what's it called, my product price and my sales price is the same thing, then am I really making profits?
No.
So I bought a product for 20 naira or 20 pounds in the market, and then I'm still selling it for 20 pounds. Like, have I made profits?
No, economically you've made a loss, but accounting wise, you broke even.
Exactly. So when they are now giving us this discount, right? Are they
Yeah.
saying that there's an additional value attached to this? Maybe when they ship the products, maybe they get an additional value on it that we don't know. Because now we are seeing another product price here. Let's see if we have maybe a shipment price or something. And you see, we are seeing benefits per order, which is, I believe, is still the same, right? Profits. Now, if you say this thing is a late delivery, was this order even completed? This order is pending. So
Yeah.
we really cannot count this as money that we generated because this order was not completed. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So what we want to be doing is that if we want to check the profit and loss, we have to ensure that they were completed per transaction. Now, if you see that this one that was pending and closed, they are minus because this transaction was not completed. So instead of making a profit out of this, there was no profit, there was no loss because this product was not eventually purchased because the transaction was not completed. But when you look at this one now, pending payments, right? This transaction has been done, but the payment has not been completed. So we can say this pending payment is outstanding, right?
Yeah.
But then if you look at this one now, processing, the money is completed, right? Or the transaction is probably the debit has taken place, but then the product has not been shipped. So how are we now going to check the discount rate? Because I hope you know that there are some products that were completed processing. So how do you think we are going to get that discount rate and profitability? Any ideas?
Maybe we just have to check for ones that were completed.
Okay. What we want to do is to check the order profits per order, right? And the order item profit, and then we will what? We will now filter it by complete and pre-processing. Do you understand?
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll do what? We'll create a pivot table. But in my pivot table, we have what? The order total, right?
Yeah, order total and
Profits, right? We will now filter what? Filter
the completed and processing.
exactly what was that one called? You will filter by the order status.
Okay.
So what about the next one? Region for late delivery. How do we plot that? How do we deal with that? If you were the one that raised this question, how do we solve it?
She has slept again now.
Interesting. The region for late delivery, we will solve it by looking at what? The other region and what?
For the delivery and then the shipping, the delivery itself. Check the other region and then the late delivery status.
That's the delivery status, right?
Yeah.
See the other what? What did you say to check again?
No, I mean like the
The
late
other
delivery,
region
other region, yeah.
and the late delivery. Late delivery. Is it
Delivery
late?
status. No, delivery status.
Delivery status. Then we need to also what? Filter by what? Filter by what?
The late delivery.
Yeah. We are only interested in the late deliveries. Okay, then what's the order status? How do we know the order status?
I think that should be like the delivery. Okay, well, if it's true or false.
The order status. No, this is the order status. This is order status. What do we do to order status?
Whether it's complete, pending, closed, pending
Yeah, we
payment,
want to know
cancel, suspected fraud.
the distribution of the order status. Right? So we know the number of pending we have, the one that has been completed, the one that was cancelled and stuff. Right? So we match this up against what? We match this up against what?
We check it with the other additional of other status. We match it maybe with the is this still the other status itself?
Now we cannot match two categorical data together. We will match it with the order total.
With the other total. Okay.
We cannot match two categorical. We need to match categorical with numbers. Okay.
Okay.
So then the last one is region for order. How do we get the region for order?
Got the region for order. We check for the regions with the other total.
Now, You need to check the region with the quantity.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
You can now say maybe add the other total, but other total is not really like the first one, it's the quantity we want to check.
Okay.
So we can create this and then as well as this. You understand?
Okay.
So now the business side, the data analytics side. Now I need you to create the visualization, the what's it called? Okay, let's create it together then so that we won't waste too much time. So we've already changed the data into this. Let's start creating the pivot table. So I'm just going to name this summary. And I'm going to go to insert, pivot table, new sheet. Click OK. Then the first question says what?
Profit.
Aggregate completed this, and this. So which is aggregate the completed. So where do we have completed?
That's like
Yeah.
the other status.
Oh no, I only created what is it called? It's only created a pivot table for the other table, for the other status, because I highlighted the entire column.
Okay.
So I'm recreating it again. So now we are doing what again? The other status, right?
Yeah.
The other status is what?
Completed and everything. And then we aggregate it with we check this thing, we aggregate it whether it was completed or this thing. Maybe I think she supposed to be with late deliveries or something. I don't know. Or with, quantity. Okay, it's now arranged alphabetically.
No, it is not. Other item quantity.
Okay. I think we've just paused. Yeah.
You can see 7,000 products were cancelled, 41,000 was closed, only 126,000 was processed. On hold is 20,000. Payments review, which means they've paid for this, but the payment has not been confirmed. Pending is this. Pending payments is this. Processing is this. Supported for. So these are the number of orders that were supported, that were not, that were cancelled eventually. Because
of fraud.
Yeah. So now we have a picture of what we are looking at, like a picture of what our data looks like now. So it's going to help us to know what to do from there. So which means we will only be narrowing it down to some of this thing, because you cannot be calculating profit and loss for payment that is on hold.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So we need to work with this other status. So the next one is saying the late and late.
Late or on time versus quantity. That's to check for late delivery.
I'm just going to copy this. Paste it right here. And then I'm going to say what's the what are we looking for?
Late or on time.
The status.
Hi.
And it has to be
Hello.
late or on time versus late delivery, something like that. That was the question. That was the way we aggregated
The
it.
delivery status, right?
And no, it was late or on time versus
Okay.
I think just check the question again and see.
This one.
Yeah.
So we only had this late, right? Sorry, this on time, and then we had this late. So we need to figure it out which one of these were completed, which is this guy. We need to filter by this guy here, which is the status, right?
Yeah, that's status.
Sorry, filter. So we are now going to filter it by those completed ones.
Please, I'm on the class. Go outside.
You understand?
People should go outside, go outside, go outside, go outside, go outside.
Go away. Daddy's room.
The late is now 72,000, on time is 53,000. So usually we have, even though the transaction was completed, we had more late orders. Can you see?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was a little bit distracted though. Like, let me just look at it. Okay, some of other. Then we filter to other status. Then we filter just completed only. I click the enter. Then it showed all this.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if I copy this again to answer the next question. In the next question, we want to look at the pivot table of order, total order and profits by the order status, which is what we just did. The order total. This is order status. I'm just going to bring this order status here, and then the total.
Is it the other product total or the sales total?
The total after the deduction of the other one. This one.
Okay.
Yep, order this one. And what else? No, what are we looking for? We are looking for the order total and the profits. Okay. We should be doing that with the category. The category and the profits that was made.
Is it the other item profit?
Yeah, this one. So now we can see the different categories that we have. The total of items that we purchased and the profits that we made on each of these items. So the next, okay, this is for everything. So we only want to know the ones that were completed. We cannot be calculating profit for something that was not paid for. So this is better now. So this is also for completed orders.
Yeah.
So if we copy again, now we are looking at the order region, deliveries,
Delivery.
and late deliveries. So we are looking at the order region. This one.
Down. Yeah.
The order region then what?
Filter by
Deliveries,
late deliveries.
late deliveries.
Yeah.
This one.
Maybe the delivery status, yeah.
And then the quantity, right? Or what's it?
And we didn't really put quantity. We just put other region versus delivery status, filter by late deliveries.
Yeah, we cannot put 3 categorical data. We need to put by something. We need to add a numeric data. So we use the quantity there.
Quantity. Okay.
So from here now we see that the ones that were early, these ones were early, these ones were late. So let's filter it by the orders that were complete, which is the what?
That's the other status.
Can you see now?
Yeah.
So out of this 126,000 that we sold, we have 498 being early deliveries or on time. We had 300 being late deliveries. You look at the proportion
More of like the grand total now is more of like there are more penalties for late deliveries than non-penalties, like 72 to 53.
yeah, which means that we have more late deliveries than on-time deliveries.
Yeah.
So if this was a data science, this thing will be looking at other factors that is causing that. But the distribution of order status versus the order total. So we need to look at order status versus the order total.
This is not the other item total.
Order status. Oops. Order status versus order what?
So the other total.
Okay, so we remove the quantity.
Yeah. So filter.
We are using status now. There's nothing to switch.
Oh, that's true. That's the status. So
the last one is region by quantity Then
Region versus quantity, then region versus other total.
yeah. This one is already giving us total anyway. So we are looking for what?
Region and quantity, then versus and region and other total. So check for region first, then other region. Think so. Yeah, that one. I think we have to remove the other status out of it. Versus quantity. This deleting, you just click on it and it deletes, or
I just drag it out.
okay. Then we check with quantity. Think other quantity.
But we are supposed to filter this by the ones that was completed, right? No, we should add.
We are comparing like two data.
We should add the
read.
status too, because where is it? Because out of all this thing that they bought, it's not everything that was completed.
Yeah. Other status.
This is better. Can you see?
Yeah.
So we now want to do what? The next one is the quantity, are we?
Yes.
So if we copy this, one, we just change this one to country and this one to quantity and what? Country and quantity, right?
Yeah, country, that's region and quantity.
Yeah, so that's it. But we need to filter this by the ones that were okay. Well, I think it's good. We are not really doing much with this particular one. So this is it. So the next thing to now do is to start creating visualization. But you see, all these ones that are more than 20, we cannot create a visualization for it.
Okay.
We would have to, when we get to creating a dashboard, we would have to create maybe a button for it or pick selected regions. Do you understand? Because we cannot be plotting this entire thing on a graph.
Want to visualize, we pick, if there are too many, we pick selected regions. So we can just choose like 3 or 4 regions
Exactly.
and check.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you might want to pick a region of your interest and then lay more emphasis on that.
You could just pick up like one from east, west, central, and south. Any part of the south, either Asia, Europe, Western Europe, Eastern Europe, Central Europe, or Central Africa. I think that we can use Africa since there is Central, East, North, West, and South.
Whichever one we decide that time, we'll figure it out. So I'm going to send this to you now so you can start creating the visualization here. Okay, so I can't save this as the CSV file again because this file has more than one sheet now. So usually for CSV file, just going to name this relation. Okay, so save now.